President Trump is really have goodwill to stop this war. And you hear it now, the president. So why he's using? So he doesn't want to stop. He doesn't want. But I hope that we will do it. Really, we'll do it. Security. When we speak about security guarantees, when the Europeans are ready for contingents, they need USA backstop. If there will not be United States, we will not never have any contingents, strong contingents from the Europeans, because they don't want to divide alliance connection between the United States and the main and strongest ally and Europeans. And this is crucial. This is important. That's what we want to speak about very much. This is very important. And air defense. So air defense, really, we have big deficit with all these systems, and we need to provide this. We need it very much. Otherwise, Putin will never stop, and will go further and further. He doesn't want. He hates us. You know, it's not about me. He hates Ukrainians. He thinks that we are not a nation. He thinks, and he shared these thoughts. I think maybe with your team also. I don't know. But with all the Europeans, in media, officially and not, he always said that there is no such country, such nation, such language, and such life like Ukrainian. No, he really doesn't respect all the Ukrainians, and he wants to destroy us. And you're right, Mr. President. That's 2%. This document, maybe other documents. It's a very good start, very good, but it will not enough to stop this person.
Should Russia take to rebuild Ukraine?
They have to pay. This is the rule. This is the rule of the war. This is the rule of the war. During all the centuries, all the history, this is the rule of the war. Who began, those pay. This is the rule. Putin began this war. He has to pay all money for innovation. He has to.
So if you notice as well, he tried to blame President Trump at the beginning, and then he says, oh, yeah, it didn't happen under you, but you were still president at some point. I'm like, okay, it didn't happen. I don't know if you guys caught that, but I caught that.
Of course, some Russian assets, what we have in Europe, about 300 billion, we can use them. We can use for innovation and buy military support from the United States also. We can do it, but it's not enough. It's not enough.
Because I wanted to know.
Wait, one second.
I asked this question that you didn't like because I wanted to know if you want to position yourself in the middle between Russia and Ukraine, or on the Ukraine side.
No, I'm in the middle. I want to solve this thing. I'm for both. I want to get it solved. And it's wonderful to speak badly about somebody else, but I want to get it solved. If we can solve it, great. If we can't solve it, they're going to have to fight it out, and who knows what's going to happen. But I want to see it get solved.
A follow-up. One more question about U.S. troops in Europe. After Russian invasion of Ukraine, your predecessor sent additional troops to Eastern Europe, including Poland, my country. Yeah. Are you committed to keeping these troops on the eastern flank of NATO in the future?
I'm very committed to Poland. I think Poland has really stepped up and done a great job for NATO. As you know, they paid more than they had to. They are one of the finest groups of people I've ever known. I'm very committed to Poland.
What about Baltics?
Poland's in a tough neighborhood, you know.
What about the Baltics?
The Baltics, they got a lot of, it's a tough neighborhood too, but we're committed. We're going to be very committed, and we're committed to NATO. But NATO has to step up, and the Europeans have to step up more than they have. And I want to see them equalize, because they are in for far less than we're in, and they should be at least equal. You understand that? Why is the United States, we have an ocean in between, why is the United States in for so much more money and other things as Europe? With that being said, and as you said, they've also been obviously very helpful, but we have put in far more than they have, and I think they should equalize.
Mr. President,
Please go ahead.
about the agreement today, what changed between the first time that Secretary Bessent gave President Zelenskyy the agreement and today for the signing?
We made a deal.
What was the deciding factor?
I'm a business person. We made a deal. That's what changed. I didn't think we were going to make a deal, and we ended up making the deal, so that changed.
Mr. President, why and how do you envision a trilateral summit with President Zelenskyy and Putin?
I don't know, but well, they don't like each other. I can tell you that. Okay? They do not like each other. This is not a love match, and it's unfortunate. That's why you're in this situation. The United States should not have allowed this to happen. Okay? The United States, run by a man that didn't know much. I'm going to be very nice. Run by an incompetent person, very incompetent person, should never have allowed this to happen. I've stopped wars. I've stopped many wars. And people will tell you, I stopped wars that nobody ever heard about. I stopped wars before they ever started. You can look at some of, I could give you a lot of nations that would tell you right now they were probably going to war. I could tell you right now there's a nation thinking about going to war on something that nobody in this room has ever even heard about. Two smaller nations, but big, still big. And I think I've stopped it. But this should have never happened.
About sorry, just a second. About any negotiations. First of all, I want really to tell you, and I think that everybody understands that Ukraine, more than Ukrainians, nobody wants to stop this war. But at the future, any negotiations, it's understandable that two sides of the war, not Russia and the United States, because this is not the war between Russia and the United States. This is war of Russia against Ukraine and Ukrainian people.
So part of the thing that I understand, right? If you have a ceasefire, right, for a week, for 2 weeks, that just means you stop shooting at each other. It doesn't mean that there's a deal in place. It just means that you just stop shooting at each other so that people can actually speak. There is no talking. There's no negotiating while people are shooting and dying. So that's why I'm like, all right, maybe Russia will break the deal. Maybe they won't. I don't know. Right? But all I'm saying is that they're just saying, can we stop shooting? Can we just stop shooting for a little bit? There's been plenty of ceasefire deals in the past that have been broken. They're just saying, can we stop shooting for a week or however long it's supposed to be? So that's the part I'm trying to understand. Like, the negotiation is just to stop shooting, not to end the whole war yet. It's like, all right, if we can stop shooting, then we can actually talk. Have you guys? I know. A lot of people have been in the military, right? But do you know when you go to the shooting range, you have to wear the earpiece, and the gun, and it's still very loud. You cannot hear anything while you're shooting. So that's why I'm like, they just want to stop shooting for a little bit, right? Let's keep going.
So these two sides will be at will be at the negotiation table. Then of course United States, like the strongest partner of the Ukraine, and of course Europe. I think Europe is very important. I want to speak about it with the president. But yes, Europe is very important for us because we really defend Europe for today. All Europeans really recognize that we are defending line, and they have real life, and our people are dying. That's why they helped us. And also, it's about the NATO. Yes, between, like the president said, you have big, nice ocean. Yes, between us. But if we will not stay, Russia will go further to Baltics and to Poland, by the way. But first to the Baltics. It's understandable for them because they've been in the USSR. You know, they've been one of the republics of the USSR, and Putin wants to bring them back to his empire. It's a fact. And when he will go there, if we will not stay, you will fight. Your American soldiers. It doesn't matter. Do you have ocean or not? Your soldiers will fight.
Mr. President, would you be willing to visit Ukraine, maybe Kyiv or Odessa, which is going to be a third year with Lexi?
It was my question.
I'm sorry.
I don't want to talk about Odessa now. Let's not talk about Odessa. I want to talk about making a deal, getting peace. We don't have to talk about Odessa, but a lot of cities have been destroyed. A lot of cities that are not recognizable. There's not a building standing.
No,
and a lot of things
Mr.
have to
President,
happen.
you have to come and to look. No. We have very good cities. Yes, a lot of things have been destroyed, but mostly cities alive, and people work, and children go to school. Sometimes it's very difficult. Sometimes closer to front line, children have to go to underground schools or online. But we live. Ukraine is fighting, and Ukraine lives. This is very important. And maybe it's Putin is sharing this information that he destroyed us. No, he lost 700,000 people, 700,000 soldiers. He lost everything. Yes. So.
Mr. President, more. I mentioned Poland.
Please, go ahead.
When did you last speak with President Putin? And what did he say that?
A couple of days ago.
And what did he tell you that gave you the assurance that he wanted peace?
Well, that's what I do. My whole life is deals. I know pretty good. And I've known him for a long time. I've dealt with him for a long time. He had to suffer through the Russia hoax. You know, Russia was a hoax. It was all Biden. It was nothing to do with him. So he had to suffer through that, and he was able to do that. I think that he wants to make a deal, and he'd like to see it end. That's all I do. That's what I do. My whole life, that's what I do, is make deals. And I'm in the middle of a mess, because this is a real mess. It's a very dangerous one. If this doesn't get solved now, it's not going to get solved for a long time. So I hope we're going to get it solved. In the back, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Prime Minister Starmer claimed repeatedly that his government believes in free speech and was not engaged. Americans demonstrably.
He was very strong on it. So was I. So was Marco. We thought they took it very, very much too far. JD.
False on such important.
Well, we actually spoke to him about that. Yeah.
Particularly as it impacts Americans.
Speaking to him about it. Marco, would you like to say something about
Yeah,
that?
we have concerns, obviously, with the conduct of those, particularly as it impacts Americans. And there's real concern that American speech, which is online, could fall into the hands of British or any country's jurisdiction. These shared
It's actually a very important question.
We spoke about this in detail with the Prime Minister, the Foreign Secretary, and others at lunch yesterday, and I know that Secretary of Commerce Lutnick followed up in private meetings last night. This is really important. We believe Americans have the right to speak their mind, even if we in this room disagree with them. They have the right to speak their mind in the public square, which is often online these days. And we're going to defend that right as it pertains to American companies and American citizens vigorously if we have to. I do think that under the President's leadership, we're going to find common ground with our friends in the UK on this question, but it remains to be.
On the deal, is there another oil and gas component to the deal? Is it all
A little bit. We'll see.
on LNG?
But we're not really looking for that so much. We get a lot. We have more than anybody in the world, by far. So no, we're not talking about it too much, but a little bit. I think it affects also, but for the most part, no.
And sir, is there any agreement from Ukraine to purchase U.S. LNG as part of the deal, or is
No.
that on the table at all?
No, we don't need that.
Some of those
Mr. President, I
results
just wanted to ask you about
are-
you just mentioned that you'd spoken to Vladimir Putin a couple of days ago. Just to be clear, that's a new call, not the one that you
I've spoken to him on numerous occasions.
Okay. And how was the latest call? What did you discuss?
How did it go?
Are you serious with that question?
I'd love to know.
It went well. I think we're going to have a deal.
On the minerals deal, Mr. President, some of those minerals are in the east of Ukraine, not far from the front lines and in areas that Russia has occupied. Will you direct President Putin to withdraw his forces from those areas if there's U.S. interest?
Well, we'll take a look at the time. We have a lot of area. It's a very big area we're talking about. So we'll take a look. I'll study that and I'll see.
And who would protect those minerals if they are U.S. interests? Would that be Ukrainian
They'll be
forces?
protected. The agreement will protect them.
US
The agreement, yeah, we're signing an agreement.
Right, but what if Russia tries to invade or there's Russian aggression in response?
I just told you I don't think that's going to happen. And if that were going to happen, I wouldn't make a deal. If I thought that was going to happen, I wouldn't make a deal.
Some people may wonder
You
why.
know, you ought to focus on CNN on survival, not asking me these ridiculous questions. Focus on surviving, because CNN's got such.
I did not hear that part. That was savage. You need to focus on survival for CNN. All right. Damn.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Damn. That was savage. That was savage. Focus on survival. Okay.
Low ratings. I don't think they're going to survive. Let's go.
I already mentioned Poland. Poland was under Russian control for decades after the Second World War. When I was a kid, I looked at the United States not only as a most powerful country, richest country in the world, the country that has great music, great movies, great muscle cars, but also as a force for good. And now I'm talking with my friends in Poland, and they are worried that you align yourself too much with Putin. What's your message for them?
Well, if I didn't align myself with both of them, you'd never have a deal. You want me to say really terrible things about Putin and then say, "Hi, Vladimir, how are we doing on the deal?" That doesn't work that way. I'm not aligned with Putin. I'm not aligned with anybody. I'm aligned with the United States of America and for the good of the world. I'm aligned with the world, and I want to get this thing over with. You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough for me to make a deal with that kind of hate. He's got tremendous hatred, and I understand that, but I can tell you the other side isn't exactly in love with, him either. So it's not a question of alignment. I'm aligned with the world. I want to get the thing set. I'm aligned with Europe. I want to see if we can get this thing done. You want me to be tough? I could be tougher than any human being you've ever seen. I'd be so tough. But you're never going to get a deal that way, so that's the way it goes. All right, one more question.
I have to respond to this. So look, for 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin, and then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried the pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the president of the United States' words mattered more than the president of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
Yeah? Okay. So he occupied it, our parts.
Let me go back to. Let's go back and watch what JD says. All right, what Vice President says.
And I'd be so tough, but you're never going to get a deal that way. So that's the way it goes. All right, one more question.
I have to respond to this. So look, for 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin, and then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried the pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the president of the United States' words mattered more than the president of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
So, all right. After watching that part right there, right? I gotta circle back. Right? Monica D, Miss Freckles, everybody else, like, what in that 10 seconds that JD Vance said that was full of testosterone, which was offensive? What did he say that was wrong? Like, I didn't hear him put any blame on Ukraine either. He put the blame on the former president, Joe Biden, right? He says they thumped their chest and wanted to fight, and it's not going well. Let's try to engage in diplomacy. Yeah, I says you haven't gotten into it yet. I see that. But who escalates it? Right? So, because I've seen this, but so far he just said, Why are we keep fighting? Let's try to do diplomacy. Let's try to figure something out. Right? That's what I'm seeing so far. Now, this what happens.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So he occupied it, our parts, big parts of Ukraine, part of East and Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact
2015.
2014.
2014 and 2014.
Yeah, yeah. So
I was not here.
Yeah,
That's exactly right.
Yes, but during 2014 till 2022, yeah, the situation the same. The people have been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him, a lot of conversations, my bilateral conversation, and we signed with him. Me, like a new president in 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel. We signed ceasefire. Ceasefire. All of them told me that he will never go. We signed him with gas contract. Gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken the ceasefire. He killed our people, and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of...
Fell from the clouds, felt the crash. High horse bucked me off the path. Smitten, lost, can't find my way. Below rock bottom, here I'll stay. I was riding, up on that horse. Thought I had it all, no doubts, no remorse. Fell hard, right down below. Lower than rock bottom, where dreams don't go. Where do I go from here? Can't see through the fear. I'm lost, I'm scared, tangled up. Trying to find my luck. Lost in the shadows, can't find the light. Wandering aimless through endless night. Should've been straight, but I took the curve. Now I'm stuck in this mess with nerve. Broken wings, shattered dreams, echoes of laughter. Now just screams. Trying to climb back up the wall, but every step it's a harder fall. Once high up in the sky so blue, now the ground's the only view. Regrets a heavy chain around my feet, dragging me down into this defeat. I look for answers in the dark, hoping to kindle a single spark, just a spark. But all I find is the cold and the pain, circling around like a never-ending chain. Gotta find a way to break free from this. Reclaim the throne I start to miss. Claim the throne. Right now just lost in despair. Grasping for hope, it's nowhere. Where do I go from here? Can't see through the fear. I'm lost, I'm scared, tangled up. I'm lost, trying to find my luck. My luck. Tired eyes looking for a sign. Fractured heart, cracked by time. Should've been straight, paid my dues. Now I'm haunted by the blues.